Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Neo. Check out this really cool pastel ombre kind of watercolor birthday set. It came out so cute. I've never done anything like this before, but it's definitely a vibe for spring. Stay tuned to see how I did that. So to get started, as always, I always like to start off by spraying my clients down just with some alcohol or swipe, anything I have in that little bottle there. And I just find that it helps to kind of start me off on the right track. It moistens up the nail bed. I can easily push back the eponychium with my cuticle scraper, and it just helps to further disinfect. I do have clients like sanitize before we get started, but I just like to do that. Afterwards, I am going to go in with a diamond abrasion bit and just start with my cuticle prep. So this isn't a skiver bit like I'm usually using. This is actually a flame bit or like a football bit. Usually you use this under the nail, but I like to use any type of diamond abrasion that's mildly pointy around the cuticle or eponychium area, because I feel like that pointy bit just but I can kind of get it up right under the lip of that dead skin, and it just helps in a really great way to just scrape off that dead skin from the nail plate. I don't really scrape my clients' nails with the cuticle pusher, so this is where I kind of do that step. I have my out really slow, and I'm not using very much force. I'm just letting the bit kind of eat through all of that dead skin that's sitting at the back of the nail plate so that we, have as little lifting as possible in the next set. So normally I'd go in with a sanding band on a mandrel bit, but when I was switching out my bits during this session, saw that I had some crosscut bits in here, diamond abrasion crosscuts, and I was like, why don't I use these? Like, sanding bands are cool, but like I was a little lazy, so I just grabbed one of these and just forgot how awesome they are. They basically do the same thing, and it's just cool, a cool way to kind of have that sanding band effect, but in a metal form. You can disinfect these just by, putting them in your barbicide or cleaning them, etc. But I'm just using it like I normally would, just lightly passing over the surface of the nail just to give it a light etching, and then spending any additional time around the sidewall and or cuticle area to remove any excess dead skin that I didn't get with the prior bit. Once done with that, we are going in with, again, another diamond abrasion. This is a ball bit, and I like to focus this on the client's skin. This does not go on the nail plate. You want to use, or you don't want to use these ball bits on the nail surface because they are a ball. They're going to dig into that nail bed and you might cause rings of fire. So I just use it on the skin. You can see I'm cleaning up her sidewalls there, any dead skin. And I turn this up a bit. It's probably about 7,000 or 8,000 RPM, and clients usually enjoy this process. They say it feels really nice, and they really do like the look of their nail plate afterwards, just because you're cleaning up all that white dead skin that's just kind of sitting around there. It makes it nice and smooth. If you're someone who doesn't feel good using nippers or cuticle clippers or anything like that, then this is a great option for you. And I guess it just depends on the state that you're in. If you're going for your license, some states do not allow you to use scissors or nippers around the skin like that, so this is always a great option as well. Speaking of, if you are interested, I got my license almost 2 years ago. If you are interested in hearing about that or hearing tips and tricks about taking your nail license, examinations, prep, things like that, then let me know in the comments, and I'll definitely try and do a video helping out with that as well, because that was a process. And I learned a lot in school, but there's things that I know now retroactively where I'm like, oh, that might have been helpful. So if you're interested in that, definitely let me know and I'll do that. Adding some nice long XXL tapered square tips. We're not going to keep them this long. This client doesn't like her nails too long, but just making sure that they're nice and straight, adequate sizing, sidewall to sidewall, you know the deal. Just making sure that these tips are applied in a great way. She was telling me how long she wanted them, and I was like, fine, we'll do what you want. So I'm just making sure to size her up. You'll see that I'm placing cuticle to cuticle for the 3 middle fingers, and then I always try to make the thumb a little bit shorter just because people use their thumbs a little bit more as well. So we decided to go stiletto on the pinky. I'm bringing this back. I haven't done this in a while, but it's such a vibe. I really, really do love a stiletto pinky. So to help out, to not have to file so much, I'm just taking my straight edge clipper and just clipping the sides so that we get like a general triangle shape. And then I'm just gonna use my hand file. This is a 100 grit. It's not my favorite, but I found like a whole box of these and I'm like, damn, I gotta use them. They're really, really flimsy. So I do have to do excess filing, which I don't like, but yeah, just clipping the sides. If you're gonna do anything beyond like a square or coffin kind of shape, just use your clipper to kind of help you out so that you don't have to do too much filing. The rest of the nails will have a tapered square shape though. So I'm just quickly cleaning up the shape, making sure that the free edge is nice and sharp and square so that when we go in with our acrylic application, we're already based on a good place. So at this point, I'm just taking a quick moment to blend these tips using that same crosscut bit. Normally I just use my sanding band that I used in the prep, but I figured it's the same thing. It does the same thing. I have the file really, really slow. I like to do this to give myself a blend so there's a seamless transition from the natural nail to the tip, and to remove or scuff up any excess glue that might have spilled out as I was applying the tip, because you want it to just be that nail surface so that the enhancement has something really solid to stick to. So that's all I'm doing here. And it is prime time. I'm going in with my favorite Mia Secret dehydrator. Honestly, you can use anything you like. Acetone, I've seen people use Swipe, you can use alcohol. You just want to make sure that you dry out that natural nail so that there's no moisture or oils that will interfere with your enhancement. Now I'm going in with the Valentino Super Bond. This seems to be working really well for me and my clients, so I'm just going to stick to it for a while now unless I find something else, but giving myself a nice coat on the natural nail so that we can get started. So I am actually using not polished clear. It's a very different texture than the Valentino crystal clear. Not polishes clear acrylic is more like a powder, if you think of like baby powder, that texture, versus Valentino's is more like sugar, where it's more like crystal textured. So I say the not polished one has more workability time. So if you are a beginner, that is more beginner friendly. But I just grabbed it because it was on the table. I keep my clears in the corner of the table and I just kind of reach for whatever one I guess tickles my fancy, so I grabbed the not polished one, but for sure just keep that in mind. I am laying down a layer of clear acrylic. I like to do this from time to time, especially with clients that I know like to come back for redesigns, not necessarily refills, where you refill with the same color. In this case, one, it helps to protect the primer that we put on the nail. If you have fidgety clients or clients that move around a lot, in this case, she is one of them, so this is imperative for her. It just helps to cover that primer so that you don't have to worry about the primer getting messed up, dust, dirt, oil, things like that. As they move their hands around, maybe she might put her hand in her bag or scratch her sweater. You don't want to have to deal with that. So if you lay a layer of clear acrylic really fast, then you don't have to worry about that. It is protected and then you can build at your own pace. Another reason is if you didn't do a good job or at all, try to blend your tips. This gives you a nice foundation, a nice smooth foundation to build on. And then 3, it helps in that removal process. So I mentioned that I like to do this on clients who come back for redesigns, not just refills. Often my clients want a different acrylic color. They want a different completely acrylic style. So instead of taking nails completely down, which takes a lot of time, I just file down to this clear layer. It gives you a visual guide so that you know when to stop filing, and it helps to protect the natural nail, and it makes refilling really, really easy. You go back in with that clear, boom, you can build right on top of that. So multiple reasons I think it's great. And as you can see, the nails are super, super watery thin. I am literally just giving a water coat, super, super fluid base of clear acrylic here, nothing crazy. Now it is time for the fun stuff, and these nails were so freaking fun. So when she came in for her birthday set, all she said was, I don't care what we do, I just want color. So I actually went in and we were, searching our Instagrams and looking for super colorful designs, and we actually were inspired by Tao's a set from Tao by Not Polish, where she did some like cotton candy pastel background with LV and butterflies and glitter. We didn't want to do the LV design or the butterfly, but the background of that cotton candy kind of mishmash of colors was just so appealing to us. And she was like, that's what I want. So on this pinky, I didn't really know how to get that done until you saw around the cuticle area. I was just going to do like a traditional ombre and just put one color and then another color back behind it. But I felt like the beauty of it is just to have the colors all kind of mixed together, not necessarily in a vertical pattern. So I started off with that frosty green that you saw, and then I went in with the blue. I'm using tons and tons of these cute pastel colors from all over. We've got some Clawley, we've got Sugar and Cream. I believe I'm using some Dip and Dap from, what is that thing called? Oh my God, my brain. iGel Beauty. I'm using a few Not Polished colors, but as you can see here, I am literally just placing colors randomly, and the trick to this is to use really, really wet beads. I am not building up for coverage at all. These nails are paper thin, but you want a watery bead so that you can blend all of the colors together. As you can see, I am not placing, and you'll see it more on the other fingers. This was the first nail, so I was figuring out how to do this. But as you watch more, you're gonna see that I'm just placing the beads randomly. Let them sit for a little bit, and as they're wet, just blend them into one another. You just kind of want it to seem like a cloudy kind of pastel mishmash of colors, not necessarily doing a super intense blend or anything like that. So the colors that we're using are a pastel yellow, a nice, pretty soft pink. There you go, that's that pink. We've got a shimmery soft mint green. I love this color. It's a little sheer, so it was a little hard to work with. I feel like I had to add multiple coats of the green to get that effect. And then we've got a nice lilac purple, and I just think that the colors came out so, so good. So on this nail, you can see that I put the tip to be completely pink. I'm just picking up random colors, and I'm working super, super wet, just making sure that we get the pigment that we want versus a beautiful blend. We are going to be adding things on top, so the blend doesn't need to be perfect really, but I'm just focused on the coloring. So even at this point, I was still trying to like do a traditional ombre where you place one color behind it and then you do another one. But after a while, you're just going to see that I'm just going to start blending the colors together all together, because it just looks better in that case for this kind of set. So there's not much else to describe. You can kind of figure it out. You'll see as I move on with the other fingers how it comes to life, but I think it was just super, super cute. Moral of the story is work wet and work with really tiny beads. As you can see, these nails are super, super cute. They just feel really springy and just gorgeous. Like, it's just giving us cotton candy pastel vibes. Just adding a touch of pink at the tip of the nail, just, you know, for a touch of something. But you can see they just look super, super, super cute. So the next thing, we actually sat for a bit and was like, so what do we do on these nails? And I brought out my pixies and I was like, girl, we have to encapsulate pixies on this set. If you've been watching more of my other videos, you know that this is something I love to do. I've been doing it since I started doing nails. There is just something magical about putting pixies inside a nail. It just does everything. I don't know if I'm addicted to this, but we wanted sparkle, but we didn't want it to be obvious. And I think that putting pixies on nails is fantastic because these AB stones just sparkle, and because they're clear AB, they take on pretty much whatever color you put them on. So it just gives us a little bit of sparkle. I'm just going in with wet beads of clear and just pushing those pixie beads right onto it. So the great thing about it is that I didn't build up for structure when applying the colors. So these nails are still paper thin. So when I do go into clear cap, they're not going to be super chunky, bulky nails. We want them to be nice and thin. But yes, look at how gorgeous the pixies are. And you're going to see in later clips like how she's wiggling her fingers because she was just like, I love this. And I'm like, I know. It's super, super, super cute. So just, you know, check this out. After that, it is time to clear cap. So I'm just taking that same clear from Not Polish, and we are just building up for structure now, making sure to fully encapsulate all of these pixie beads. Again, this acrylic has a little bit more work time, so I wasn't prepared for that. But you just have to modify your application. You should be able to, adjust to any type of products, especially with time and as you figure out how you like to work. For stiletto nails, my focus is just keeping that product in the center of the nail. It has different pressure points than a square or like a broader tipped nail. So it's just really important that you give adequate structure for these pointier or like almondy or stiletto type nails so that they don't go cracking as clients like live their life or anything like that. So I'm just clear capping all of these nails. And I believe I'm using the Not Polish monomer as well. Okay guys, peep the sparkle in these nails. It is so pretty and just gorge, isn't it? It's just so cute, so cute. So if you know, I like to go in with my E-file next. I'm using a medium barrel bit. It is a non-safety and it is a carbide abrasion, meaning it's just a metal bit with the teeth kind of etched into it. And I'm using it to smooth out the surface of the nails, especially because we encapsulated pixies. Often when you encapsulate chunkier pieces like this, some of them stick up out of the nail. So I like to use a little bit more than a fine abrasion. So if I need to debulk or eat through some product, I totally can. And I love, love, love that it's a non-safety. As you can see at this point, I love getting the tip of that bit right into the area of where the acrylic meets the skin. You kind of want to seal your application, just making sure that there's a great separation, not a great separation, but a good separation between the client's skin, the natural nail, and that acrylic application. It also helps to prevent lifting. And you're just going to see me focus a bit on smoothing out the surface of the nail. Not all of the pixies are fully encapsulated, so just to make sure that the client has a pleasant experience with these nails. If you wear pixies, you know how scratchy they can be. That's another thing. She showed me a reference photo of like a set with French. It was like nude French, but the French was made from pixies. And I was like, that is gorgeous, but I'll tell you right now, like, you're gonna scratch the crap out of your face with that kind of thing. So I always try to, when I'm encapsulating pixies, they are not the smoothest texture wise. So when I encapsulate, I just try to make sure I do a good job in smoothing out the surface of the nail so that the client has a pleasant experience, as well as having really, really cute nails. Nothing crazy. I'm gonna spend some time debulking. I want it to have more of a natural apex, meaning it's thinner around the cuticle, thinner at the tip, and then just has the gradual rise to that apex towards the middle of the nail, or where the client's natural free edge is. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. I have my E-file to a medium to high speed. If I had to guess, I would say about 15 to 20,000 RPM. My E-file, I use the Coupa Me file, doesn't have an LED display or numbers around the dial, so I actually don't know the speed, but I'm thinking about doing a review. I did, when I first got it, did do an unboxing video, but that was almost a year plus ago. And now that I feel like I've been using it for some time, I have like a good amount of experience with it to give a review. So if you are interested in seeing a review on this E-file, definitely let me know and I can do that as well. But for now, we are just making sure to smooth out and get the beautiful shape of these gorgeous, gorgeous pastel cotton candy ombre nails. Once done with e-filing, it is time to hand file, and at this point my main focus is just to crispen up the shape. We want these nails to be nice and tight and have a gorgeous shape. That's one thing that's super important to me. I just find that when I see sets like online or in videos, I'm always looking at the shape. Like, you could have the most gorgeous design, but if your nails look like soft, and what I mean by soft, like they just don't look crisp, or you can see like they didn't wipe the sidewalls after applying gel polish, or the square tip is not completely sharp square, I'm always kind of like, close, but you know, make it tight. So I just try to focus at this point to have super nice, clean lines with these nails. That's just me personally. If you don't focus on that, then hey, you do what you do. But aesthetically, I just think that takes nails to the next level, where it's just like, oh yeah, that's a gorgeous nail. So that's just what I'm doing here. You see me hand filing a little bit, especially on these different shape nails. That's a different shape. The stiletto nails, cleaning up the shape as necessary. We want it to be not super sharp. She asked for not super sharp, so I didn't go for that super triangle pointy shape, but just making sure that things are nice and tight. In an effort to just make sure that the nails have a beautiful, beautiful appearance, I'm just going in with this diamond abrasion. I wanted to say cube. It's not a cube. It's a cylinder bit. It's a cylinder bit, and it's a non-safety. It's diamond abrasion, so it is safe to use around the skinned and or natural nail. And I'm just honestly cleaning everything up, even more, cleaning up that cuticle sidewall area, just going right around. You can see, not spending too much time. And the purpose of this is just to make sure that we have a nice, smooth transition. I mean, it looks nice and clean, and she did appreciate that as well. So this was a birthday set. She was born in 1999. Oh my gosh, I feel so old. But we are just taking these old English numbers stickers, and one is actually a 6 and one is actually a 9. I realized that I didn't have 2 9s, and luckily the 6 was the same exact thing as a 9, so I just flipped it over and we got a 99 for her, because, you know, she was born in 99 and 2000s. If you get that reference, then you may be old enough. Please, I'm old. But then I thought, you know, let's keep this set pretty simple. We were thinking of doing like a whole bunch of graffiti with pigment, and I was like, you know what, we spent so much time doing this dreamy, gorgeous background with the sparkle underneath. Let's just keep it simple and do like a, I guess, graffiti vibe, but not going so much, and let the kind of the nail color and the sparkle be the star of the show. So we just decided to add a little bit of sparkle on this one. We are just doing a cuticle cuff of crystal AB rhinestones. I'm using my favorite Zule Bling adhesive. It works so well. Definitely get your hands on that. It is a great adhesive for gluing nails down. And we're just going to build a very dainty kind of small rhinestone situation. Not on every single nail. I think I'm just going to do like 2 stones at the cuticle, but on this finger we're going to build up a small design, nothing crazy, and then let the background kind of be the star of the show. So I decided to show a little bit of the other hand. Usually I try to just put one hand because we don't want to be here for 48 hours, right? But we did different stickers on this hand. So her name is Kai, so I'm putting a C-A-I on the other hand. And I messed up. I actually, after placing the second letter, realized I used the glow in the dark set, not the crisp white one, and we wanted crisp white. So I just, easily plucked that off and replaced that C with a crystal clear white one. No biggie. And we did it in the direction so that she could read her nails, not that we could read it. So C-A-I in the old English lettering on this finger. And then same thing, we're just going to add some bling to the rest of these nails. So I thought this would be a nice thing to do, is just to add some twinkle stars to the nails with the Old English stickers. I just felt like it kind of gave that graffiti vibe. So what I did was mix some white gel polish with some clear to give it that smoky kind of dispersed white look. I added that with the dotting tool, and then I went in with another dotting tool and put pure white right in the center of that. And then I'm just going to draw the twinkle stars on there. And the purpose of doing that mix of clear and white is that it gives it kind of like this faded out look to look like the star is glowing versus just doing it on its own. I've been doing that recently, and I just feel like it adds just a little bit more dimension to it. So I'm only doing this on the nails with the stickers to kind of give that graffiti vibe, but for the most part we're just letting the ombre and the sparkle with the pixies underneath be the star of the show. Once done with this, I'm doing this on both fingers with these stickers. I'm going to have the client cure for 30 seconds to lock this down. Final step to this gorgeous birthday set is to glossy top coat. We did talk about going matte, but these absolutely need to be glossy with all of the sparkle, and you'll see the sparkle coming to life. I'm just being careful, or as careful as I can be, painting around these rhinestones. I do get rhinestone top coat on top of these rhinestones, but no biggie. I am gonna go in with a oh my god, my brain a lint-free wipe and some alcohol, and we will wipe off the rhinestones. I try to always do that if I know I'm gonna possibly get top coat on my stones. You just want the stones to have all their facets, and when you paint over them, you kind of erase those edges that catch the light. So it's always just good practice to go back in and wipe off your stones if you care about that kind of thing. But after that, I'm gonna clean my sidewall so that we have a nice shape, and then have the client cure for a minute to lock this down. I believe I'm using Not Polish. This is a whole Not Polish set. I think I'm using Not Polish's Gloss It. Here is this client's birthday set. The colors are super, super pretty and soft. I just loved it. It's so appropriate for spring. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you want to see videos of those things I mentioned earlier before. Like if you like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.